generally speaking, most of the time, usually in Dungeons and Dragons, I would say the party is good aligned. This idea of adventurers solving problems, going on quests. Yes, they're trying to build a name for themselves. Yes, the rogue is trying to get rich. Yes, the mage wants ultimate power. But in doing so, they're making the world a better place. They're helping people. And that's a very powerful, on another level, a very powerful social message in D&D of various characters coming together to transform the world. So what we usually see, I can't say always see, because there's a lot of different ways to play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons as a toolkit. Usually what we see is the party is somewhat good aligned or working for good. Now, in the current edition of D&D, alignment, it really holds no significance anymore. It's not as restrictive as, say, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where you were locked into an alignment and you had to play that alignment and you couldn't do or use certain things with that alignment. And if you fell out of that alignment based on the character class, if you were a paladin or a crusader, that could change things. So there's some interesting dynamics from that perspective. So in that framework, though, if the party is mostly good, trying to do good, what about playing an evil party, an evil D&D party? I mean, if D&D is a toolkit, Fritz, how do we utilize this? Now, there have been 2 or 3 times that I've played as a dungeon master's perspective. I've never played as part of an evil party. What I've seen from other groups is there's no togetherness. Everyone's kind of out for themselves and literally, as one would expect if we're using the classical chaotic evil, not even lawful evil where rules and structures and hierarchy are keeping you in play. But the classic chaotic evil, it just devolved so fast with every character for themselves. Literally a tabletop game like burnt out after 3 or 4 sessions, maybe 5. So when I've seen that, how I've run an evil party as a DM, as a dungeon master, was part of a greater group. And I've done this about 3 times so far. 2 have been successful in that we completed it towards the end. And 1, just for time and various reasons, the group couldn't come together. So let me share with you the framework. There was a time where I had a big D&D group that I was running, tabletop group, because if you've been following my vlogs, you know everyone absolutely has a place at my table. So I like big games. I would love to play a game of D&D 10, 12, 15 people. I think about 10 is what I can do personally and manage everything. Higher than that, co-DM, it would help, but the bigger, the better. Getting those visions, getting those voices, getting those player personalities, that uniqueness, it gives me a lot of enthusiasm as a DM. So I had a big group going. And we were getting ready. We finished a campaign. We were getting ready to start another campaign. And the group split. Like literally half the players could no longer meet at this time, and the other half the players could. So I thought, okay, my work schedule is free. We'll do D&D twice a week, and we'll just see what happens until the schedule can allow us back to merge. Got to keep doing D&D as best as we can do D&D, right? So with that, now I've got 2 parties. And I thought, okay, this is an opportunity. Certainly I could run the same adventure. Certainly I could run different adventures, but it was a mix of players. And this was in the Forgotten Realms setting, Forgotten Realms universe. I said, well, look, this is a chance to do something different. What if we do a game where 2 wizards are having a dispute, and whoever can claim an artifact first gets to keep the artifact? They're on one side of the Forgotten Realms, and the artifact is somewhere on the other side of the Forgotten Realms. And of course, wizards being wizards, the rules of the Wizards Council and the rules of the game mean you fight through proxies. You can't just kind of whiz war or teleport out there and claim it. So each wizard, the Wizards Council had a ruling. Each wizard is allowed to hire and equip a party of adventurers and send them on the way. It's going to be like a D&D racing game. Run across the Forgotten Realms. Now, you can't teleport. No magic's allowed. No flying. You have to walk. You have to ride. You have to take a ship. And the first players to claim that artifact win. So with that perspective, I ran two D&D games. Now, one wizard was good, one wizard was bad. I mean, we're kind of simplifying things there, right? It's never pure good or pure bad. But what this means is I let the players choose. Do you want to be part of the good party or the bad party? And you have to decide how you're going to make it across the Forgotten Realms within that framework. And literally, I guess enough time has passed and I can talk about it. I had a giant printer at work, one of these printers that could print this huge map. So I was like firing off these maps constantly. And in the gaming club, I put up literally a map of the Forgotten Realms. So if we played on a Tuesday and you moved, to make it fair, you had 3 units of movement that you could do per turn, per gaming session. I had a little kind of flag that represented the good party, and that would track across the map. And I had the bad party flag, the evil party flag, tracking across the map. So in between sessions, on Tuesday, when the good aligned party would go, on Thursday, the evil aligned party would come in and look at the map, and you could see the progress. So we had these two parties, good and evil, but they were bound by a mission. Not a problem for the good party, of course, which had a paladin, but also from the bad party, binding them and pushing it forward. So I say that, and eventually there were some chances where the party were going to catch up with each other, because there were a few gaming sessions where both groups of players could make it together. So when that happened, when I would see that happening, literally some of the adventures I was just making up as we go along. But when that did meet, I had a part of the adventure where they went into a valley, and there were storm giants there that had kind of descended, causing a lot of problems. Both parties got trapped and had to work together. Just to escape. But of course, not only working together, good party, bad party looking to say, how can we put the good party behind a little bit? Good party looking and asking the same question, of course, but justifying it from kind of a good party perspective. So opportunity I found from that perspective in playing an evil party, if there were defined rules, if there were kind of defined methods of doing it, then there could be a possibility. But I would personally feel as a DM, it's not the type of adventures that I'd like to run or the party that I would want to run, because I think it goes against the spirit of the game, of cooperation, of having literally different people, different character classes coming together and making the realm, the D&D realm, a better place, transforming it. I think that's one of the core messages of D&D, and I think playing an evil party would just go against that and devolve that a little bit. So, of course, turning it over to my fellow DMs here, I mean, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, is a toolkit. I'm always open to how can we utilize that toolkit to do amazing things. Playing an evil party, playing an evil character, how would you handle that, or how would you approach that as a DM?